This video is about how to compare fractions. Now there are a lot of ways on how to compare fractions, but here are some of the ways. Okay, so right now let's have some examples, like maybe 3 over 5 and maybe 6 over 10. Okay, so right now we see 5 and 10 as denominators. The first choice is to always change the denominator. Okay, so let's say we change the 5 to a 10 by times 2. And whatever you do to the bottom, you must do to the top. So this times 2. So we'll get 6 over 10. Same as this. And so these two 6 over 10 over here are equals. Now you may know these signs as smaller than, equals, and greater than. So these two fractions are equals. Let's try another example. Okay, now for example, we have 12 over 18 and we got 5 over 9. What can we do? Now we use the change denominator. We can change 9 to 18 by times 2. And whatever you do to the bottom, you must do to the top. So we times 2 this, and we'll get 10 over 18. Now we can compare. So 12 is bigger than 10. So therefore, 12 out of 18 is greater than 10 out of 18, right? But we must change it to the same denominator. So it should be 5 out of 9. Okay? Now, you may have realized that for the past 2 questions, I have said whatever you must do to the bottom, you do it to the top. Now the top, you may know it as numerator. Okay? And the bottom one, you may know it as denominator. Okay? Now, the denominator is the bottom number. And if we say like a bigger number, maybe like 3 or more numbers, for example 12 over 14, then we got 3 over 9, and we got 4 over 5. Okay, so how do we compare? Now the denominators are too big, so we have to go to the second method. which is change the numerator. Okay? So, now we try to change the numerator. 3 and 4 can be changed to 12, like times 4 and times 3. But whatever you do to the top, you must do to the bottom. So this one is times 3, this one times 4. Now, 3 times 4 equals to 12 over 9 times 4 equals to 36. 4 times 3 equals 12. And 5 times 3 equals to 15. Now we can compare these. Let's say they ask for the greatest. So the greatest would be 12 over 14. And remember, we have to change them to the original number. So followed by 4 out of 5. By 4 out of 5. And lastly, the smallest would be, we cannot do this, 2. So it must be 3 out of 9. And you need to memorize these 2 steps. Okay, these 2. It may seem a little messy, but don't mind it. Okay, you need to memorize these 2 for your exams, or if you don't have any exams this year, you still have to memorize this. Okay? Now, let's try something else. Now, if the question says, let's see, change $12 over 6, let's say 16 to the simplest form. Okay? To change 12 over 16 to the simplest form, we need to divide. So 12 can divide by 6, right? But can 16 divide by 6? It can't, right? So both of them, they can't divide by 5. So the closest biggest number is 4. 12 can divide by 4, and 16 can divide by 4. And as a result, we will get 3 over 4. This is the simplest form because we cannot divide it anymore. We cannot divide by 1 because we will still get the same number. So therefore, 3 out of 4 is our answer. Okay? And remember, you must always read the question. So yeah, that's the end of today's video.